Hey, everybody, this is Scott,
And this is Brandon.
and you're listening to Tech Pop Boom. Brandon, how in the heck are you?
How are you? Long time since we've done this.
Yes, it is, but good things come to those who wait.
Yes. So
That
now,
being said, you're stuck for the next hour with us listening to nonsense.
but now since everyone's doing their podcasts is like how we used to do our podcasts, I think it's quite funny because everyone's stuck at home. Have you
Oh,
noticed
yeah.
that? Everyone's using
Yeah,
Duo.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, well, that's true. People are stuck at home, and they can't leave. So even Howard Stern's pretty much doing a podcast in his basement.
In his basement, yeah, and
Yeah,
people are actually doing the podcast the way we did all the podcasts in the past. So
yeah,
we're now at
yeah.
the same quality level as everyone else.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm in a band, and we have been doing on our Facebook page. We've been doing virtual jams, well, essentially like a Zoom kind of a deal, where we all kind of broadcast from each of our house and we just kind of play music. And for those that are interested, it's at the Five Detroit at Facebook page. Little plug there.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so yeah, everyone is doing their own thing in their own house because what else are you gonna do? You can't go anywhere, right?
No, you can't go anywhere. No. I've been since our last podcast. I've been doing Xbox. I've been doing that.
Now, have you been
Xbox.
watching any TV shows or anything? Is it pretty much Xbox? You've been
You
watching any
know
interesting
what?
shows?
It's like a mix between the two because I don't want to get too tired.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you start playing, when you go and you start playing a video game, certain games, if you can play for hours and hours and hours. So
Yeah,
sometimes I need a break because my eyes start to hurt and then my
yeah,
hands start to hurt because you got to remove that controller in your thumbs. So I take a
yes,
break
yes,
and
yeah.
then I'll go watch something like on Netflix, Hulu, whatever I want to watch, and then I'll go back to it. But I have a rule that I don't
Mhm.
play games during the week,
Why?
during the time we work, only because, it'll keep me up because I want to finish
Oh,
it.
yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
then I start on Friday, and then I might
Okay. Throughout the
play.
weekend,
Yeah, I might play. Let me see which one. I play Destiny 2.
and
That's
that's
my.
for. Did you say PlayStation or
Oh no, for
Xbox?
Xbox. Nah, I'm not a
Xbox.
PlayStation fan. I've never been a PlayStation fan really.
I don't have either one, and I don't. I'm not a gamer. However, a guy I know recently got a Nintendo Switch, and I had considered getting one for my son, but they're just so expensive. But then the last, I don't know how you probably know more than I would. They recently Nintendo released the Nintendo Switch Lite, which is a handheld version, and
Ooh.
anyway, he got the regular Switch, but I thought he kept talking about how great it was. For a minute, I kind of thought, boy, that would be kind of neat to have one of those. I could get Mario Kart. My son would love it. And then they have Fortnite and I don't know, Mario's, not Mario, Luigi's Castle. And they have other cool games that they look good. But then I thought, it's expensive. The games they're not cheap. You know that.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, I'm just not a gamer. So you know what I did instead? I downloaded Apple Arcade. Apple has their own video game service for $5 a month, but you can get it free for 1 month. So I downloaded that, and for like a couple of days, I was really excited. And now after a week, I'm bored. So that cured my $200 itch for the Nintendo Switch Lite. But anyways, enough about me. Let's talk about you.
So,
No, no, no. Tell me more about the Xbox. What games do you play for the
Xbox.
Xbox?
Okay. So what games do I play? Well, so far I've been on Destiny 2, and then Fortnite I couldn't get into. I have Fortnite on my Xbox. I
You know,
downloaded it. I just
I've
couldn't
never
get into
played
it.
it. I've only seen it on YouTube. It looked neat, but
It looks
I've never played it.
it looks neat, but it's somehow setting it up. I mean, just to log on to do it
Oh,
takes so long that I give up because I mean,
yeah.
it doesn't like work for. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with that, but I've
It
been
looks
on.
cool.
Oh, it looks cool. I mean, I've seen it on
Hmm.
Mixer. Of them people. They actually have a tournament.
Yeah.
On Mixer, where you go against each each person goes against each person. The top gets like a Xbox, the Xbox X and a Sony
Oh,
PlayStation. Yeah, they actually have one, and I was watching
oh,
it, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. So then I tried it, and I'm like, okay, well, I lost my interest, and I start going back to Destiny 2. I don't
yeah.
know why I seem to like that game. I I I, I played Destiny 1. You know, I went and bought
Hmm.
Destiny 1 actually, and then and when I first got my Xbox, and then and well, originally I should go back. Originally I had the lower version of the Xbox, the S version. Okay, I went out and
Hmm.
bought that. It was on sale, and I started playing game, and then I'm realizing, man, the X is it was $100 off, and the X is the higher version of the
Oh
Xbox.
yeah.
So
Okay.
my mom was like, I need a DVD player. Well, you know, she bought a 4K TV. She bought 4K TV, and she was like,
Yeah.
man, I'm like, Mom, I'll just give you, you know, my Xbox. It has a 4K DVD player in it. So she took my original one. I went
Okay.
out and bought the X. And then I start playing it on my nice you know, okay, I had a 1080p TV and I had this 4K powerful Xbox playing Destiny. I played, you know, Halo. You know, I was playing all these games. I'm thinking, I'm getting ripped off because I don't have a
Hmm.
4K TV. So
Then you bought a TV.
then and this is somebody who did not have a TV for years. You know, for like a couple of years. I didn't have a TV in like what, 2010, 11, 12
Right.
for 3 years straight.
Hmm. Yeah.
So then I went and said, well, forget it. I'll go get a brand new TV. So I went and bought okay, slightly bigger TV. And then now these games look amazing on this TV.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I
Yeah, that's
bought the
awesome.
highest one. I bought the highest one. I didn't, you know, I said if I'm gonna go and get a TV, I'm not gonna go cheap on this. So
Sure.
I got the highest resolution, you know, whatever I could get. But anyway,
Hmm.
or not frame rate, not resolution. But anyway, so Halo I've played. Let's see what else. Actually, there I'm looking at them right now as I'm talking to you. Halo. I've been on. Let's see what else I got. Well, Call of Duty. I haven't gotten into Call of Duty. No, I haven't gotten into Call of Duty. And then Battlefield. But and then I had Destiny 1, so I started playing that. I liked Destiny 1. And then and I finished the game and I'm like, I didn't even know there was a Destiny 2. I know, okay. And
So
so
that's the
then
game you play. Destiny game is your game.
yeah, Destiny 2 is like my favorite, my
So
favorite one out of all of them.
besides the games, besides the actual games, what isn't there a streaming service? Do you use the streaming service with it, or is that Xbox or PlayStation? I'm thinking
Oh
of.
no, they have a streaming service. They have live. I think it's called the Ultimate. Oh, I can't remember, but
But they have a
Xbox
streaming
Live.
service. Do you have that? Do you
Yes,
pay
I
for that?
do.
Oh,
Yeah,
you do.
and I download and you can download games, a lot of games on that. I mean, that I
Oh,
have.
so with the streaming service, you're allowed to download certain games with that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That you could. They're all. It's almost. It's like the Netflix of.
So it's that basically that's what you're paying for. You're
Yeah,
paying the
yeah.
streaming to.
Well,
s Go
Well,
ahead.
here's the thing. The reason why I got that was because my Xbox Live was getting ready to expire, and they bundle them together. I think it's Xbox Ultimate or something like that.
Hmm.
But they bundle the Live and then that service together, you know, in one. So you just pay one fee. You know, it's like I think it's
So with the fee for the streaming, you can download games.
yeah.
Besides the games, I mean, are there shows like Netflix and that kind of stuff,
You mean to no, not
or
like that.
is this strictly
It's
games?
strictly for games. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because when you say streaming, I
Oh,
think
you're talking about the
Netflix.
streaming like the streaming like you play like Stadia, right? Like
Well, I'm when I say streaming, I assumed it was like a streaming television viewing thing.
oh,
I didn't know what
oh,
it was.
okay, because they are trying to do that. They are trying to do the
I see.
streaming of the games where you don't have to have a physical. You can play your games anywhere. You can play it on your
Right.
phone.
Yeah.
You can play it on your computer. You know, you can play. Yeah, you can play it everywhere. But
Hmm.
no, they have a download like a Netflix of games, and so I've been playing games on that too. Like
Oh, that's cool.
I played Metal Gears 5, which oh my, that game looks so amazing on the Xbox X
Oh, cool.
with the ray tracing. I don't know if you know what ray tracing is, but
I do not.
okay. The ray tracing is like where the if you have a light, like if you go turn around in your wherever you're at, and
Yep.
you look at the light, and you know how light bounces off things. You know,
Yeah.
you have a source, you have a light, and then it gets brighter and it gets darker at a certain point. Well, games do that too. So wherever there's the sunlight, you have the shadows, and then you have the bright, have things reflecting off of it, off that light.
Gotcha.
So one source
Hmm.
of light. So Xbox X or Xbox has the software version of it because there's going to be a hardware version of that coming out on the new Xbox, which is supposed to come out at the end of the year, which does the hardware ray tracing. Which, when you look at Minecraft, well, another game I was play, but you look at Minecraft on ray tracing or the on the Xbox X, it looks
Hmm.
so real with the light bouncing off. It looks
Oh, that's
entirely a
cool.
different game.
Yeah. Oh, nice, nice,
So I
cool.
mean, but yeah, but that game, I mean, I was amazed by it. I mean, when I
Well,
downloaded it, and so now they had NBA Live 2020 on there. I think it's NBA Live 2020, and then I think there's another game that by Rockstar. I can't remember
hmm.
something two. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. But anyway, I downloaded that, but unfortunately, it was like 10 gigs. So I have to kind
Oh, yeah,
of,
that's crazy.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I kind of,
they have the Apple has the App Store has Fortnite. You can download it, and so I thought I wanted to try it. I wanted to check it out, see what it was like. 'Cause again, I never played it. So I attempted to download it, and once I downloaded it, it told me it had, I don't know if it was an update or maybe the game itself had to still be loaded. At any rate, it said that it was 8 gigs, and I said hell no, so I deleted it right away. I'm not taking up 8 gigs on my phone
8
for a game I'll
gigs.
play. That's what it said. I don't know if I'm confused or I'm stupid, which is half true. Um, but I'm not, if it is indeed taking up 8 gigs, I wasn't going to do it.
You were gonna do it.
But at any rate, besides the games, let's talk about shows.
Okay.
Since you and I watch a lot of shows.
Now let me ask you something. What didn't you like about Picard? Give me your honest,
Well,
fair opinion.
before we get into that, for people who may be listening,
Yes,
Picard on CBS. Brandon is a very big
I'm
fan
a big fan.
of Star Trek,
Yes.
and I'm not that I'm not a big fan. I just I mean, I like some, I don't like some, but Brandon very, very highly recommended Picard, and I bootlegged maybe the first episode a while back, and I didn't finish it. Um, but whatever, he finished the series, and he kept telling me how great it was. And at one point, CBS had a free promotion; they gave it away free for a month for anyone, and that may still be the case. I don't know, but at
I
the
think it
time
is.
that okay. So I got the free promotion for a month, and I went crazy, and I started watching Picard. The first episode I thought was really good. I really enjoyed the first episode. I liked kind of the direction they were going. It was kind of cool. However, as the show progressed, I just lost interest. It just seemed to be really long, and I hate to say it, it was just kind of boring. I lost interest, and I mean, I don't want to give anything away for anyone, but the parts I remember about that show were Captain Picard and Data. Data, I don't know his name, Data.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're Captain Picard and Data,
yeah.
and I know some of the other characters, but I only know them by face and not by name. I know Whoopi Goldberg was on there one time, and there was another guy with a beard who was like his co-pilot person, and that guy was on the show. And apparently, Whoopi Goldberg is supposed to be on next
Yeah,
season.
next season. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I can't wait for that.
However, Data on this show did not play a very big part. He was involved in the show, but he wasn't in a very big part of the show. And to me, that was one of the most fun. And there's another guy with the thing over his eyes. I don't know what his name, but he wasn't even in it. So some of the characters, that I remembered weren't even in the show. But that was fine. It was a different direction. But again, the parts I knew of the show weren't really involved in this version of the show. And I hold on. Oh, my cat's in the background making noises. It scared the living hell out of me. I'm in my basement.
Oh, I
I'm in my
could hear
basement
it.
with all. Yeah, I'm in the basement all by myself. Like the lights turned off, and I hear this big meow meow. What in Jesus hell is that? Anyway, that scared the hell out of me. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I didn't love it. I did finish it, and I don't know that I'll go back and watch the next season. I only finished it because you spoke so highly of it, and I hated to, I tell you that I didn't like it, but I didn't really love it.
You didn't really like it? But
Not
okay,
really.
so okay, I can answer like a couple of those things. So
Hmm.
one, Brent, I think his name is Brent Spitz, I can never say his last name. Anyway, he's tired of playing Data, and he said he was only going to do this. He was only going to do this like maybe this one thing, and he want to play something else. So I don't know if they're going to bring him back in the next one. I don't know what's going to happen,
I
but he won't
don't.
be
Yeah.
Data. That's why the whole thing, why he was like, okay. I mean, I get
They
that because
He
you
could
know
come back because the actor was in that show, but he didn't play
Oh,
Data.
Noonien Soon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one who created him. Yeah, yeah.
Right. They could.
That's who he played. Which if you go back to Star Trek, he's in the original. How he created him and all that. Okay. Anyway, and
I don't understand that because that guy. I mean, he's an older guy, and maybe he was tired of playing him 20 years ago. But again, it's been 20 years, and it's like the guy's on every single TV show you see.
yeah,
Maybe he doesn't need the money. Maybe he's happy in his life, and God bless
maybe.
him if he is.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, something like this. I mean, you would think that he would do it just for the fans, but and he did for
He
the most
did.
part for this
He
one. But
did.
I mean, it wasn't a very big part, and I don't know. There's a I don't know.
Well. Okay, okay. The second part about that okay. The second thing, I know it probably was going slow, was because I kind of know I watched every single Star Trek episode possible. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
haven't watched it in a while, but Next
Yeah.
Generation was like my middle school kind of high school thing. So
Oh
every
yeah.
time it
Yeah.
was
Mm-hmm.
on, I watched it, and then I would stay up at night and watch it. It was on, I think, what?
Yeah.
It was on like at night. They would do the reruns,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget. Okay, this is a little bit about the Borg cube and all this, but Encounter at Far. Oh no, that was the very first episode. Was I can't remember the episode, but the episode where the Borg. I sent it to you. Just watch that little part, but where they go and they kidnap Captain Picard and they put him on the Borg ship, which all this is in
Oh
Picard.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all this is in
Yeah. Yeah.
Picard. So
Yeah.
and then that was one of the best Star Trek next. That was
Episodes.
that
Yeah. You
was the
told me
thing.
that.
Remember when like they say jump the shark when it goes
Yep.
bad? Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's how Riker's beard got to be a name, because after that point, Star Trek: The Next Generation was awesome. After that point, before it was a little
Oh.
wonky, and then it went all out. I mean, right after that point,
Mm.
when Borg and fighting, it was like, wow, okay, this is really good.
So when is the new season supposed to start?
Supposed to start next year, but I don't think they're filming because of this whole virus thing.
Oh
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
stopped. But I heard that now. Oh, I can't tell you that part because if you haven't watched it, well, I heard he's going to have complications, Picard, for what happened. That's what I read somewhere. That's where that's going to start. Like now, whatever happened, what he did, it's supposed to
Yeah.
bite him in the ass now.
That's
So
right. Yeah, I forgot about that part at
yeah,
the
yeah,
end
the
that you hear
very,
what
very
happened to
end.
Picard.
But I thought that,
So something happens. Something very serious
yeah,
happens to Picard at the very end of this show, and it affects everything actually.
yeah.
So if
Which,
if you're interested in all in watching Picard, there are some moments that are like, holy crap, that's very shocking that they did that,
yeah,
especially with him. So
yeah. I mean, Seven of Nine is in that. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool.
well, since we're talking about sci-fi shows, let's talk about the best sci-fi not show but movie. Have you watched the Last Skywalker?
No,
You
nah,
haven't. No
nah.
interest.
Well, I do have a little interest. I mean, was it good? Was it worth it? Let me just ask you that.
It was better than the last one. The last one to me kind of it was the last one was just terrible in my opinion. It was
It was
awful.
terrible. I mean, but I mean, it really soured me because I thought
Yeah.
Star Wars was, well, I wouldn't say terrible at the beginning.
Well, it surprises me because I know you're a huge sci-fi fan. So if you're not like Star Wars, it's very
Well,
surprising.
like
But
how you feel about Star Trek
yeah,
is how I feel about Star Wars.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly everything that you said right about Picard is how I feel about Star
Yeah.
Wars. It has its points. I like that Darth Vader is Luke's father. I mean, you're like, oh my
What?
God.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. I gave something away. I'm sorry. If you haven't seen it by now, I don't even. Forget
I'm teasing.
it.
No, as far as the last Skywalker, it wasn't bad. I think it was about as good as it could have been. Although they made choices I thought were kind of silly.
Now,
Like they brought
Did JJ go back? JJ Abrams go back and do this one?
he did, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
maybe it's
And
worth it
this show,
then.
if you're familiar with Star Wars, the Emperor. Do you know who the Emperor is? Darth Vader's
Yeah, yeah,
very
that
big
guy
boss.
with the cape, right? And then you,
Right. Well,
yeah, okay.
he was killed off at Return of the Jedi. Well, they brought him back for this movie, and at this point, I mean, that they brought him back after all this time. No, from what I hear, he was supposed to be a clone of the Emperor, but
Oh,
I don't remember them actually saying that in the movie. Maybe they did, and I missed it. But I had read somewhere that it wasn't the real Emperor; it was a clone of the Emperor. But even still, one of the characters in the movie is affected by well, is something to do with the emperor. That's kind of why he came back into the movie, and you find out the real story on this character,
huh.
which to me was kind of a silly thing to do, but whatever. It is what it is. I mean, they're kind of screwed because Carrie Fisher had passed away, so you couldn't have Princess Leia, who was originally supposed to have a big role in this movie.
Yeah, I know. I
But
know.
so I mean, it was fun. You know, Lando was in it. That was cool. It had its moments,
Okay.
but yeah, I hope they go on and do more. What's the show on Disney Plus? The Mandalorian. I hope they do more Mandalorian, and I know they are, but they need to do more shows like the
Now,
Mandalorian.
what is the Mandalorian? I mean, what is a Mandalorian? I'll start with that.
Boba Fett. It's you know who Boba Fett is.
Yes.
Boba Fett. My cat is like going crazy in the background. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Boba Fett is a bounty hunter, and a Mandalorian are just a group of people who look identical, because identically is not a word, I don't believe, who looks identical to Boba Fett. They all look the same. They all wear the same type of masks. So just they have different badges and different things. And the thing is, they never take their masks off in public. Once you become a Mandalorian, you never take your mask off. And it's Brandon. It's incredibly good. The Mandalorian is on Disney Plus, and it is really, sincerely. John Favreau is involved in it. There's different directors, and one of the directors of one of the episodes, he directed the movie Jojo Rabbit. Is that what it's called? It was a
I,
movie, which is a very good movie. If you haven't seen it, I think it's called Jojo Rabbit. And he won an Oscar for Best Director, and the movie I think maybe won an Oscar as well. However, what I'm getting at is this guy has made headlines recently. He's doing a Star Wars movie. He's
hmm.
directing or writing and directing a Star Wars movie. I don't know if it's a series of movies, but there's one in the works, and he's directing it. But Mandalorian, if you didn't like it, I would be shocked because it's so good. It's so much like the original Star Wars. But it doesn't. You don't have to watch any Star Wars. You can just watch it as is. And well, I guess you kind of have to watch some because there's a character in there where that kind of refers to one of the characters in Star Wars, but isn't involved.
I've
At
seen them
least.
all.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've seen them? I didn't think you
I mean,
saw it.
no. I mean, not Mandalorian. I've seen all the Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen Mandalorian. No.
Well, Mandalorian, it's very well done, very well done. And you're not a big Star Wars person, so maybe you wouldn't like it, but it's a very good show on Disney Plus, and I very highly recommend it. But besides the Mandalorian, besides Star Trek, besides Star Wars, what have you been streaming?
Let's see. What have I been? Well, Picard was one, but
Hmm.
Star Trek Discovery. I'm rewatching those because
Okay.
the new one is supposed to come out soon. And I know you haven't watched it, but I like it. It's an entirely different Star Trek. I mean, that I'm used to. You know,
I haven't watched it, so I couldn't even give you
I tried
a critique on it. Yeah.
I tried to tell you about it, but to say, hey, watch this show. But
Yeah.
I know you were like, no, I don't like Picard, so I kind of said, okay, I'm gonna drop Star Trek Discovery since you want there. But it is a different show, and I like it, like how they did that. To me, it's like, and you know, I was boycotting not getting CBS because I refused to pay for it. I was
Yeah.
mad. I was
Hmm.
refusing to pay for it. It was based on principle. I really wanted to see Star Trek Discovery, but I wasn't gonna. I said no. This should be on regular. It should be on Netflix like the rest of the world. You know,
I agree.
the rest
Yeah.
of the world is on
And there
Netflix,
wasn't
Amazon
really
Prime,
there wasn't that much extra on there that was really worth spending that money. They did have the Twilight Zone, an updated version of the Twilight Zone, which was
which
fun.
I still haven't watched yet.
No, it was good. I mean, some episodes are definitely better than others, and some are just like, yeah, you know. But it was that was worth watching. The Star Trek, if you're a Star Trek fan, I mean, obviously you'd want to watch that. Discovery and Picard. Um, and I'm sure there's other stuff. My son watched a couple of cartoons on there that he enjoyed, but I like original content when on those streaming channels.
Well, they're gonna make more Star Treks. They're supposed.
No, I know they do, but like, even Disney is guilty of this. Like they hype this Disney Plus, and you get it, and then there's a lot of content on there, but the majority, in my opinion, on the Disney Plus is all older movies that you've already seen. And
Hmm.
obviously, a lot of this stuff at Disney is they say, "Oh, it's locked in the cellar, and you won't see it for another 20 years." Buy the DVD now while you can, because once the vault door is closed, you'll never get it again.
You'll
So a
get it
lot of those,
20 years later.
well, what Disney Plus is, they've taken all those movies out of the vault, so to speak, and they put them on this particular app. So you
Okay.
can watch a lot of these movies like the Apple Dumpling Gang and a lot of cartoons that the Muppets and that kind of stuff. But that's it. It's mostly, I think it's mostly for kids. There's a lot of cartoons and Pixar. Now there is Marvel on there. All the Marvel movies are on there. Star Wars, every single Star Wars movie's on there. Even the latest one, Last Skywalker.
But do you
Um,
think it's worth it with Disney Plus?
Not really. I
Not
mean,
really.
The Mandalorian's worth it. Um,
Because that's probably the only streaming service I don't have.
Yeah,
If you think about it for a second.
it's good, but um, I wish that like Netflix they throw so much original content out at you. I mean, if you don't like this one, okay, no, wait another week or so, we'll throw another one at you. You like that one? No
See, I don't
problem. Here's
like that.
another one for you. I like that. You don't like that? You said?
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I like it all at once, like Netflix.
No, right. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Netflix
okay.
has so much original content that if you don't like this one, then go on to the
Yeah,
next
you can
one.
go to the next one.
Whereas Disney Plus, they do have some original content, but it's it's okay.
I just okay. I was thinking about getting it just for the Pixar stuff, but I just like I don't need another streaming service. I mean, I'm already was like kind of mad that I had to pay for this just to see Discovery.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
yeah,
it drove me nuts. I mean, but then it was worth it. It was worth it to me. I mean, now I'm watching them again because just so I can know what happened when the third
sure.
season drops.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just because you miss things when you're watching it the first time.
Hmm.
So, but what I was gonna say is, oh, by the way, that Star Trek episode is best of both worlds, the best Star Trek episode ever. You know, the
Gotcha.
Star Trek
Yeah.
Next Generation. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. To go back to, because I didn't know the name of it, but oh, anyway, what else have I watched? Let me see. I'm trying to go through and trying to see what else have I watched. Have you seen Tiger King? Because I haven't even seen it. I ain't even want to click
Yes,
on it.
yeah. I liked it. It was just weird. It's like watching reality TV. Well, I mean, it is reality TV. It's like watching an episode of Cops. You know,
Okay.
and this guy, the premise is there's a guy who I believe lives in, I want to say, Oklahoma,
Okay.
and he has like a farm, not a farm, a zoo with all kind of animals, and obviously a lot of tigers. And he filmed some sort of a TV show, and there's just so many characters there. This guy's gay. His name is the guy who owns his name is Joe Exotic. He calls himself, and then he's gay, and he marries this other guy, and then the whole show he's not doesn't wear a shirt, and he's got these crazy tattoos, and he's like missing teeth. And then he meets another guy, another kid, and so he decides to marry both of these guys. And then there's a lady in Florida who owns a zoo, but she doesn't like the way Joe Exotic runs his zoo. So now they're at war with each other, and he calls her a bitch, and it's funny.
It's
It's the
funny. Oh,
I mean it's not
oh,
meant to be funny,
it's not
but
to me, but it is.
yeah, exactly right.
Hmm.
I liked it just for how you watch one episode, your jaw's just like, what the fuck? Pardon my French. What the hell? That's just crazy. It's weird.
I, I've been watching more movies on Netflix than I have been watching episodes, I guess, only because I don't know. It's just I don't. Okay, like when I go to my Xbox and I want to play Xbox, I want something I don't want something to get addicted to.
Right. Yeah.
To go through, because then once I start watching it, I want to finish it. I'm kind of like that type of
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
start
Yeah.
watching like their movies, like the
Hmm.
ones that are out, like Extraction. I was gonna think about watching today, but there was a one that I watched with Brian Reynolds. I can't remember what it was.
Hmm.
But I mean I have it in my, like, I guess in my Netflix profile somewhere. But anyway, um I'm more watching those, and then other movies that I haven't seen. Like, okay, for example, um, I've been watching The Good Place. I
Oh yeah, yeah.
watched the
I didn't
final.
know that was on still.
Yeah. Oh no, it's ended. It's
Oh.
done. But I was watching that. I mean, since
Oh,
our
okay.
last show, I've been on that.
Yeah.
And then I think Good Girl. Yeah, Good Girls was the other one. I've
Okay.
watched that. It's Yeah, it's a kind of like hit or miss with Netflix, is because it's mostly, I mean, I'm gonna catch up on it, and I probably will do it. Now Ozark I haven't watched either. I watched the very
Ozark is good. I definitely recommend Ozark. Ozark is a good show. It's
okay.
really dark, and it's got
I
some
mean, I watched I don't know which season we're on, but I haven't watched the newest one yet.
I believe the latest season is the third season. It just came out, and it's definitely worth watching, and you should definitely watch it.
Oh, okay. So maybe I should, because I have it on my need to watch list. But you know what
Yes.
show I hope they bring back, and I know this is weird,
Hmm.
is,
Sesame Street. You want to watch Sesame Street,
well,
right?
that'd be okay too, but but that's on HBO, I think.
It is.
No, is the Bill Nye Saves the World. I almost thought, because it was
I
in my.
thought Bill Nye had a show on Amazon Prime, doesn't he?
Oh, does he? Because Bill, I
I'm not a
mean,
Bill Nye guy, but I know I've seen him on
because
Amazon
it's on
Prime.
Amazon. I mean, not on Amazon, but it's on Netflix. Because I almost thought there was a new season, and I'm like, oh, okay. Then I've already, okay. It's still on season
Well,
3.
don't take my word for it, but I know I have seen him either on Netflix or
I'm gonna
Amazon
have
Prime.
to.
So do some research and find out because I know I've
I
seen
gotta
it.
do
It
my
could just
research.
be the
Okay.
old show. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to do my research on that. Like, I got on, but it was just saying, "Hey, you want to watch it again?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to watch it again. I want new episodes." Altered Carbon. I watched the first episode of the second season. I didn't finish
Hmm.
it though,
Okay.
and then that's on my whole Netflix thing. I didn't really finish it, but
Hmm.
yeah, that one. But you know what movie? It was so funny that I hadn't seen until maybe about 2 weeks ago. But love the score, by the way. But is Avita, Alita? I'm sorry, Alita. It's I don't know. You might have to look that up to. If you
Yeah.
type that in, you'll know 'cause she's a robot. And this is in the
Oh.
future.
Okay.
And it's a science. It came out like about maybe like 2 years ago, but
Okay.
it's on HBO. I know that for a fact because I had to go find it because I was gonna rent it. I'm like, wait, let me find if I don't have to pay for this, because I always wanted to watch it, and I am mad that I didn't watch this sooner.
Oh wow. And it's on
I did.
HBO. You said.
Yeah, it's on HBO. Yeah, it's on HBO. It's Alita.
Oh, okay. It doesn't ring a bell. I have to look that up.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, it's a movie. It's not a sh- it's not it's a movie, because they're
Oh,
supposed
it's
to
a
make
movie.
another one. Yeah, they're supposed to. Disney wants to make it, well, because now Disney owns 20th Century.
Do me a
They're gonna make it.
favor. When we're done, go to the Facebook page, the Tech Pop Boom Facebook page, and put a link for that movie because I
Okay.
would like to see that. I'm sure the people listening would also like
Okay.
to
Okay. Okay.
watch that too.
I'll put it in
So
there.
anyone listening, go to Facebook, look up Tech Pop Boom, and Brandon is very good at
Well,
updating
as I've been
the
updating it ever since.
Brandon he updates it all the time. He puts all kind of news out there, and we'll get to the news in a minute. But so yeah, put a link out there or
Okay.
whatever about that movie because I'd like to get more information on that.
Yeah, it was really good. It's science fiction, of course, but
Hmm.
it's really I'm shocked that I didn't go watch it. But on
Okay.
Amazon, I haven't watched anything really. And I know you told me to watch Upload.
Upload is good. That you would totally like that because you like gadgety type of stuff. The premise is with Upload is when you die, you have a choice. You can either just die and go to heaven, go to hell, or you can upload yourself into this universe, like a digital universe. Call I forgot what they call it, but and you're eternal. You're always there as long as
Wasn't that
someone keep.
a Black Mirror episode?
It does. This show is very, and I even told you that it's very much like a Black Mirror episode, and maybe that's where they got the idea from. But yeah, so you can, as long as someone keeps paying your monthly bill, who's actually still living, you can
Great.
you can right, you can live in this universe. And anyway, it's kind of neat. I'm horrible at explaining things,
No, you know you did a good job with that because now I might want to
but
click
it's
on
cool
that.
because even though you're dead, you can still exist with the living people because they can like dial into the computer and oh, there's Bob. You can't human touch him anymore,
But
but you
he's
can
there.
you can dial in and he's always there. You can always log in and see him like, hey, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm going down to the cafeteria. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Hey, so and so died yesterday. Go see if he's there. Oh, there he is. How you doing? But that kind of thing. So it's that kind of a vibe. But the thing is, you're there, and there's a one thing where this kid died and the parents they uploaded him to this upload universe, and then he's probably 40 whatever years old, but he's still in the kid's body, and the kid's getting mad because he's 40 years old. He can still see his friends on the other side. They're growing up. They have girlfriends, went out and great things, but he's still this little boy, and he's mad. He wants his parents to pay for an older person's avatar, but they refuse to do it.
Oh
So
man.
he takes matters into his own hands, and then craziness ensues. So that's called Upload, and that I believe is on Amazon Prime. Am I right, Brandon?
Yeah, yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. Yeah.
And there's also another show on Amazon Prime called The Boys. If you've never watched The Boys, I think season 2 is coming out soon. That's another good show. That's like a superhero show. That's really good. The Boys.
The Boys. Oh yeah, I know you told me about. You see that
Hmm.
I haven't clicked on that either.
Oh yeah, shame on
I
you.
mean,
That's a
I
that's
know,
a good
shame on me
show.
for that.
Yeah.
You know, you just reminded me. See, they don't have a on Amazon, not that I can see. I don't have like a list like Netflix. I can say add to my list. You
You
know,
can add it to,
whatever.
yeah, of course, yeah, you can add it to your watch list on Amazon.
On
Yes, they
Amazon,
do.
you can.
Yeah,
Where the,
add it to your
what is
watch
it?
list. You have to look when you go to Amazon. You find a show. There'll be an option that says "Add to Watch List," and you click it, and it'll put it on your watch list,
Okay,
whether it's a TV show or a movie. Yeah,
oh, you know what? It's right here. Okay, okay. Yeah, I did that. Okay,
same.
I'm doing that on like three of those you just said right here. But
The
okay.
Boys, Upload, and
Upload.
I
Okay, I
can't
got
think of anything
upload,
else.
and I did the boys,
Hmm.
and then your other one, what was it? Was Well, no, that was me who's.
You said a show on HBO. You said.
Oh, that was on HBO. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Vita. Yeah,
Hmm.
that was me. But so then on Hulu, well, Orville. I cannot wait for that. I was
Orville.
rewatching that. Orville.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's well, it was on Fox. It's not gonna be on Fox anymore. It's gonna be on Hulu now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And Future Man, I know Future Man. I gotta watch that because I haven't watched that either. You know,
Yeah.
as you can see, my list is growing of all the stuff I wanted to watch. But now Rick and Morty, I like. I've watched all those, and then
Yeah.
and
I can't watch cartoons.
oh,
My
that's right,
kid.
you're not in a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Speaking of cartoons, um, another one that I really liked that I came across that I'm once again so mad I didn't watch before was Spider-Man Into the Verse.
That was very good. Yes.
Oh,
Very
I
good
didn't
movie.
know how good.
I
I've
saw
watched
that
that
with my
three
son and he
times.
loved it. Yeah, that was good.
I watched that three times. I mean, ooh, and oh, by the way, great score.
Because that definitely matters.
Yes, well, a bad score ruins the movie. And if a score that you notice also ruins the
Hmm.
movie. So a lot of scores people don't notice, but I notice it
Okay.
because, I like that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So I did watch that. And then the final, let me see, that's really it. But the final thing I wanted to talk to you about that I know we haven't talked on our podcast about, but we both watched it, which I've watched so many times it's not funny,
Hmm.
is Chernobyl.
Oh, that was great. I thought we did. I thought we did talk about that, but maybe we
No, no,
didn't.
no. I think we were no, this when we did that last our podcast. No, we mentioned it, but we never because at that time, even I don't think we even talked about Game of Thrones on the last one
Oh,
because
well,
it was coming
Chernobyl was
up.
excellent. Chernobyl was another one of those shows that Brandon you had mentioned, and I didn't at the time have any interest in it. You've done this to me a couple of times,
Right.
and you just
Mostly
keep
all the
talking
shows I
about it and talking.
mentioned, you you
Well, no,
you,
no, but you keep it. You keep and you're like you keep telling me, oh no, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. It's really good. Da, da, da.
and you're
And
like,
finally,
yeah, screw it.
and you broke me down. It's like, my God, I gotta watch the show just to shut him up.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and boy, you could not have been more right. That show is excellent. Chernobyl. It's an HBO show. It's a series of, I don't know, maybe 10 episodes, I believe.
It's five. Yeah, it's five.
Oh boy, was I wrong on that one? It goes to show what I know.
Yeah.
Are you
It
sure it's
was.
only five
It's
episodes
only
of
five
Chernobyl?
episodes. Yes, it's only five. I
Okay.
know because I even bought the DVD. I mean, that's how much I love that I was just like
Yeah.
amazed when I saw it.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. Chernobyl. It's very
I mean,
good
it,
show.
it keeps you. It's one of those where if you watch one episode, you gotta watch the second one, and you
Oh
gotta
yeah.
watch the third one,
Oh,
and
you're glued. Once you get through the first one, you're glued. You're gonna watch. Yeah, you're loving it.
yeah, you're on, you're there. I mean, and so
Hmm.
I've watched this. I don't know. Okay, let's see. So I want to say the last week I watched it too. So that was like my
Hmm.
seventh time I think I've seen it.
Okay.
Five. Yeah, that we're on seven. Yeah, just because I got the DVD and I said, well, if I bought the DVD, I mean the Blu-ray, I might as well put it in my Xbox and watch it. And once
Hmm.
I start with one, I can't stop watching the other one. So
Hmm.
that's 5 hours that I literally sat there and watched the whole thing. But I thought that was excellent. I just
It
I
was.
have to
Yes.
say for anybody who has not seen that, I mean it's how it just tells that story. I think as best they could. That's the best way I could say that. That is.
Bes-
Oh,
Now,
go ahead.
besides the streaming, um, I'm dying to know. Please, can you tell me what is in tech news? I have to know.
Tech news. Well, let's see. In tech news, well, the iPhone SE 2 is coming out.
iPhone SE. Now that is a second generation of, because they had one before. My wife had it, but it was a very small screen.
Yep.
Now I'm wondering, can you tell me if the this new version is a bigger screen?
No, no, no. It's a I think it's 4.6 maybe. What was the other
Why?
one?
Well, it was a smaller. If this is a four, really a
I
4 inch
I think it's a
screen?
4.6. Yeah. Let me
Are you
see.
sure about
Oh,
that?
I'm gonna look it up right now. Here, right now,
Because if that's the case,
Apple.com.
that sounds lousy. I mean, why would you want a small screen like that?
Well, that's the whole point. SE, small edition.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna look it right now. Learn more. Actually, it's on sale by the way. If you want to get it,
How much is it?
I think it's I saw prices at 199
Wow.
and but it would trade in though. I think it's a trade in or something with the old
Okay.
phone. But if you yeah
Hmm.
no, it's 4.7 at Retina display.
Um,
But here,
I have the iPhone XR, which is it a 6 inch screen? I don't know, but anyway, it's a bigger, definitely bigger, and I love it. I love my phone.
you love, yeah, I know you love your phone. You hug that phone. You sleep with it. Yeah, I know you love it. But
Yeah, my wife had the iPhone XE before our SE, before the XR, and she hated that it was so small. She kept telling me, when we get new phones, you have to get me one with a bigger screen. So I got her this one, and she can't put it down.
this one, what's so amazing about this is not only the price, but the chip that's inside it, the A13 chip.
You got to be kidding me! The A13 is in that
A13.
thing,
Oh, but this blows
Brandon.
out.
That's exciting.
but yeah, but you know what's exciting about that is
What's
that
that?
your X that's more powerful than your XR.
Really? That is weird. Wow, crazy.
It is more powerful than the newest well, it's one step up from the newest iPhone out there.
Wow.
And it's only three, and the pictures are just as amazing as the newest iPhone.
As long as you don't mind looking at it on a
On
small
small screen,
screen.
yes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it beats every Android phone, even the top
Yeah, that's a
Android
good
phone
price.
out
That's a
there.
very good price.
The
Very good.
highest, think about it, the highest Android phone doesn't have as much processing power as this SE.
Wow. Very impressive. You've done your homework, Brandon.
Oh,
Good
yes, I
job.
have because I was trying to talk somebody at work into getting one because I would try to tell her it's so funny because Um, and well, actually, two people who one of them has an old phone. We won't, which I sit there and I'm like, that version of Android is not getting any updates, right? Okay, and I'm all off for the updates. I like iPhones because they do that, and of course, my
Mm-hmm.
Pixel does it every month. I get an update, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at the old version of Androids, I'm like, ooh, I don't know. And then and they talk about security and stuff, and I always look at it, and I'm like, well, you got an old Android phone, you're not that secure either.
Yeah.
So I would,
Yeah.
and trust me, I'm sick to my stomach every time I talk about this iPhone SE and say, you know what, maybe you should get in this iPhone SE. Trust me, I don't want to say it, but it is the best budget phone out there. You can't
If
even.
you're looking for a budget
Yeah,
phone.
yeah. If you're looking for it, but this one beats almost every almost every Android phone. I'm just when it even was announced, okay, I was like, yeah, whatever. Until I saw the specs, and then I'm like, huh, oh, wow. I'm always saying, hey, the iPhone is a little bit more secure than Android. Get the
Wow.
iPhone. Well, I hate to say, yeah, trust me, I am probably gonna go wash my mouth with soap because I just said that. But um, so that's out. Um, well, like streaming services like Duo and Hangouts and Skype are now the mainstream. Everybody's using them now. I mean, everyone
I use FaceTime, so that's an
you
Android
use
thing.
Fine, yeah, FaceTime, which yeah, that is an Android thing. No, you know what? A lot of people are talking about maybe Apple should just give that up
Why?
and not give and just put it on Android, just like Duo is on Android. I mean, on
Oh,
Apple. I mean,
oh, oh, oh. I
Duo,
thought FaceTime is an Apple thing, though. That's not. I
yeah, that's
mean,
Apple, but I can't FaceTime you.
yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah,
all the Android, I mean, that's half. And so now I have to sit there. Now you have to download a Google product so I
yeah,
can talk to
that's
you.
true. That's true. Yeah, yeah. Look
So
at
what?
you, Brandon, making sense.
I
Wow.
mean, I don't know. I thought about this because my
Mm-hmm.
mom had to download Duo because she FaceTimes my sisters and all. They all have
Mm-hmm.
Apple iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, either you know how I felt about that, but
Mm-hmm.
so there. But when she wanted to, she was like, "I'll just FaceTime you." So she's sitting here trying to figure out how to FaceTime me, and I'm like, "You can't FaceTime me,
Can't.
mom."
Nope.
What do you mean?
Can't do it.
So it's like you got to download Duo. So my sister had to go and download
Showing. Yeah.
Duo and show her,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's like, "Oh, so now she has to use a whole separate app." And I'm
Yep.
like, "Why can't Apple
Or
just?"
here's a better question. Since everyone else in your family has an iPhone, why can't you just get an iPhone? I think
Uh,
you're the problem. You're the problem with your family, Brandon.
probably.
You need to break down and get a phone that the family uses. The family is obviously an Apple family. They're
Oh,
the smart ones, Brandon.
well,
Break down
yeah.
and get
Well,
an
they all
iPhone.
have. Yeah. They all have iPhones. My mom refused. Yeah, no. She loved her
Shame on
iPhone. My
you.
sister's got one. My other
You're in
sister's got one.
Brandon.
My
You're in an
niece
Apple
has an
family.
iPhone.
Get an Apple. Be part of the family. Come on, you can go back to your family gatherings again. You can actually go back see your family at Christmas time with your Apple. They'll welcome you with open
I can
arms.
FaceTime them all, right? Yeah,
That's
uh-huh.
exactly right.
I wouldn't get it just for that, no. But if the iPhone did like customization better, like Android, I
Yeah.
might consider it.
Well, there
But
you go, Apple.
I just don't like it's just not my thing. It's not a It's not an Apple thing. It's not an iPhone. It's just I like Android better. I just
Hmm.
like how I can put widgets on my screen and customize my phone the way I want to.
Cool.
I mean, I like that. But now let me ask you a question. So, what
Hmm.
age did you get your first cell phone?
I was old. I was probably in my 30s. I was a late bloomer. I didn't want a cell phone. I had nothing. I hated that people had cell phones because at the time, this is before the smartphone. The flip phones were at the time that was the big deal. And I didn't want one. I didn't want the flip phone because everyone had them. Everyone was using them, and I just didn't want to be, part of that, you know, crowd. But eventually, I got one because I'd waited so long. I mean, everyone had one except for me. So I think I went to God. What was it? It was I don't know what it was. It was one of those cell phones where you had to buy minutes. You had to buy so many
Oh,
minutes, and you had to buy a card, and you only had like maybe 60 minutes. And once the 60 minutes were done, then you had to buy another card for an additional 60 minutes. And if you didn't use it with so much time, then it would went away. And yeah, it was one of those type of deals.
interesting. Because I was just curious because it's funny. I called Brett. It was so funny about something, and they always say the date. Well, thank you for being a customer.
Yeah.
For whatever, how many, and they just give you the date. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, 1997. Okay, so
Holy moly!
wow. So I was thinking about it. Yeah, that's when I got yeah, that's when I got for my first cell phone. Actually, I was in high school when I got my first cell phone. But while
Look
everyone's
at
using the
you.
payphone, see, I'm always one step ahead of everyone. Everyone's always
Hmm.
one step behind me. It's like even the way we're doing this podcast, like no one was doing the podcast from like having, on their computer, recording in the background. We both were on, while we're using Duo, we were on Hangouts before, and then recording it and then putting it on. No one else did that. Now everyone's doing it. That's the only way they can do a
You were
podcast
the
now.
first of your
I was the
kind,
first one.
Brandon.
And then what made me mad was I get on the podcast app, and you know how we do episode one, two, three, four, five. I'd never
Hmm.
seen that until maybe about 2 weeks ago. I saw somebody else doing, or season.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
they were doing seasons, season one, season two, season three, season four, and I'm like, oh man. And I guess they probably think, oh, this is oh my, I'm the first one to do this. But which mine's been like that since, I don't know what, we're on 5 years since we did this.
Wow.
It's five,
Holy
6 years, I
cow.
think.
Yeah.
I think this is, yeah, I think it's the first one we did this year.
Probably the last 2 years.
Last 2 years, yeah. But let me see what else here. Give me a second here. Um, let me go on. Actually, let me go on our Tech Pop Boom. Oh, that's on a whole different. Oh, I downloaded Edge. Microsoft Edge. The new not Edge, but what is this one that Microsoft? Yeah, Edge with the
Edge.
Chrome. Using
Yeah.
Chrome.
I
I
had downloaded it on my phone. We have it at work.
Yeah.
We have Edge at work. But yeah. I downloaded it from my
Did
phone and
you
then I
did you
deleted it.
download the Chrome version of it? Because you know that that's out there too. If you go to
What do you mean a Chrome version of it?
Well, yeah, they have two versions. Okay, so Microsoft decided to give up their Edge version the way that they do it, and they went to a Chrome version of Edge. It has that E on it. You probably have seen it on your laptop. You probably downloaded it on your laptop
I don't really know.
because it has like a cool E. I call it cool, but with multiple colors on it.
Oh,
It
okay.
looks different than the other Edge, where it was flat and with the E.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've been using that. They started that. I mean that before, and I guess it's a lot better than Chrome. I think. I mean it is
Really?
Chrome. It is Chrome, and it imports, which Microsoft is probably slick for this. It does import all your Chrome stuff into that too.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So into the Edge, which and so I've been more going towards Edge than on Chrome now, except for my Chromebook.
Wow. Yeah.
So, so let me go into my Tech Bot Boom. I gotta figure out which browser I have it signed into, which I don't have
Mm-hmm.
signed into that one,
Oh.
and I don't have it signed into this one. Okay, I'm just gonna have to use my cell phone.
Hmm.
Because I am not gonna sit here and log in. all day.
Nor should you have to.
No, I'm gonna have to add Facebook. Well, I'm not on Facebook often anyway, other than the do Tech Pop Boom, but um that's a whole nother story with that though. But um oh. So now, oh, I forgot. I can transfer my music from Google Play and YouTube Music. I can do that. I mean, before you
Google
couldn't
Play.
do that, so I always had two separate apps. I always had my YouTube Music
Oh,
and then my Google Play. And so any
nice.
songs I saved in Google Play, and then I'm like, oh, and I'm in the car using my Android Auto, and I'm thinking it's one, it's either the other.
Mm-hmm.
So now they import into it, which which I haven't done yet. And we talked about that. We talked about the iPhone SE, and
Yeah.
then Android Google Pixel 4a is coming out. Oh, by the way,
Oh God.
I got to speak about the Google Pixel 4, the original one.
Please, please do.
Okay. That is such, and I'm gonna say this, and because there's no other word, that is probably the shittiest phone. I'm gonna say it.
Random.
I
The language.
the
You
language,
just
hey.
the kids
I'm
listening
just
to this
gotta say
show
it.
are deeply offended.
I know. That's why it has an E for, I forgot what the E stands for. Anyway, so it's because when I recommended this the Pixel 3 to somebody, and they got the Pixel 4, but the Pixel 4 is different than the Pixel 3 because does not have a fingerprint reader on it. So it uses that
Okay.
Face ID, and they try to be like
Hmm.
Apple. Okay.
Okay.
And and the thing is, this person comes back to me and says, "Oh my God, this is the worst phone ever." I'm like, "What phone did you get?" And when I saw that Pixel 4, I said, "Oh," and he was telling me how, he doesn't use the Face ID because you can do it while your eyes are closed. Well, I fix that, I think now. Um, and how the battery life does not last at all.
Wow.
I mean, he got the original. He doesn't have the extra large one because I would have, if I'd have known he was going to get the 4, I would have said, "Hey, get the extra large one because it has a bigger battery. At least it gives you a little time."
Yeah.
And I almost considered, okay, maybe I'll get the 4, as my next phone. But as I oh, and I mean, I guess they can fix it, but I'm gonna wait until the 5. But anyway, the 4A is coming out, and I'd rather get the 4A, which is the cheaper version of the phone, and it has a
Yeah.
fingerprint reader on it because, like now with everyone wearing masks, your Face ID doesn't work anymore.
Oh God.
And you don't have a fingerprint reader, so now you have to type in your passcode every time. But I wish the Pixel 4. I was kind of disappointed in it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
disappointed that Google put out the Pixel 4. Not that I'm saying not to. Well, if they fix everything, but now the 4A is amazing. I would go get the 4A if you for. I mean, I know, and plus for the price. I mean, you could get a Samsung Galaxy. What, we're at
Yeah.
20, I mean, and for the same price, and it has a whole lot more. And then the dimness. Yeah, he was complaining about the dimness on the screen because they had to save battery life because the battery was small. Anyway, now I hear that the Pixel 5 is going to have a different processor, but it's going to be cheaper. It's not going to have the highest in Snapdragon processor.
Well, that
So,
is very exciting.
yes, very. I know you sound bored. Anyway, so so yeah. So anyway, the 4A is coming out. That's why this whole rant is about. So the 4A is coming out, and they said it's good competition because the camera is great on the 4A, but the iPhone SE is just as probably as good too. Um, but anyway, that's coming out, and then T-Mobile merged with Sprint.
Yeah, tell me about that. What's up with that?
Okay, so T-Mobile has been trying to buy
Yes.
Sprint for I don't know how long. We even talked
A
about it
long
so in
time.
so many podcasts.
Yes,
This is
we
not
did.
funny.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So finally, it was done. It is done. They are now one company. So John Lair, the CEO, stepped down
Of
and
of
of
who?
T-Mobile. So
He
he's my
did.
yeah,
The
he
guy who
did.
wears the
The
guy who
guy,
wears the pink
yeah,
the pink shirts.
yes, yep. He retired. He's done.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep. So then another CEO took over. Well, I guess he was number two. Don't quote me on that. I think he was number two of T-Mobile. So he took over both of the companies, and then this guy says, "Hey, we're gonna try to we're gonna probably make the best 5G ever." So because now T-Mobile owns the lower band and the mid-range band now. So and that might not mean anything, but so how as Sprint customers, how when we go in a building and our phones
Yeah.
don't work very well,
Yes.
that's because it's the band. And
Yeah.
and that's what's happening with me here, where I live is and let me just say this. Sprint doesn't outside, it works great. Once I walk inside, my signal just goes crap. Just goes out. So,
Yeah.
but T-Mobile works very well where I live. That's why I'm hoping that T-Mobile does come here. I mean, does switch their towers over, and that my phone switches to T-Mobile towers,
Yeah.
because then we'll go 100%. It would be like the best service, because when I had the T-Mobile on my other phone, it works great here. But so anyway, the reason they bought them was because of the mid-range bands and then the high bands. So I guess the high bands, Verizon, AT&T has the high bands, and they have mini towers, but
Mhm.
they go ultimately fast. The higher the band, the faster the speed. But the lower the band, the slower the speed, but the more the distance. So high bands have high speed, but
Mhm.
they don't go through walls, and they have a limited range of distance. Mid-range bands is in the middle. That's where you want to be. Sprint owns all those. And then you had the lower end band, which okay. But anyway, so they bought them, and they're going to merge those two networks together. And
So,
so
do they have a name? What are they going to call themselves?
they're called T-Mobile.
Oh, so Sprint no longer exists?
No, Sprint no longer exists. They're done. Actually, he said he's going to start switching their branding over starting next month. So you will see now
Really?
Sprint stores turn to T-Mobile. My phone probably will say T-Mobile instead of Sprint.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So they're gonna T-Mobile. I mean, Sprint is done, but Sprint had a bad name anyway.
That's true. Yeah, they did. Yep,
I mean,
you're
a lot
right.
of people won't ever touch a Sprint phone. So
Yeah,
even
they
it
had
doesn't
people.
matter how
Yeah.
cheap they were, they
Hmm.
would not. And it has a bad name. It has a bad name for bad service. Even me. I mean, if you go back to the podcast, how many times did I bitch about Sprint?
So many, I can't even remember, and I don't even want to think about it. It brought
Yeah.
back so many memories.
Oh, and then the plans you get your grandfathered in. So if you have a Sprint plan, which I'm debating changing my plan to the one I really want. So when
Hmm.
they go to the T-Mobile plans, I'll keep that one, because Sprint has a plan that has you can get Hulu,
Ooh.
you can get T-Del, I never can say that right, but that's their music streaming service, and you also
Okay.
get Amazon Prime with it.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
if they incorporate into it, I think it's like $80 a month per phone. But
Okay.
then I'm wondering, well, anyway, so I want that plan. I have the lower plan, and then you get like I think it's 70. I have to don't quote me on this because I haven't looked it up. I think it's seven. I think it's you get a hotspot too with it. See, I have
Nice.
the lower
Hmm.
one. I have the one just with the Hulu on it,
Okay.
and that's it. And the hotspot. But I want to upgrade, because once T-Mobile switches, you have a Sprint phone and they switch their branding, those plans are going to go to T-Mobile plans now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody. So, but you get to keep your plan as long as you want. That's so
Sweet.
from what they say. I mean, I don't know. That could change.
Yep. Hmm.
As it stands, you can keep your plan.
Yeah.
But we'll put it that way. So that's really it. That's the details on that. I mean, it's done. I mean, that's all I can say. I mean,
Well, Brandon,
congratulations to
you
them.
have informed us. You have told us about the T-Mobile Sprint. You've told us about the new iPhone. What else have you told us about, Brandon?
I don't know. I forgot.
You have told us so much information, our brains have stopped working. You talked to us about streaming shows, You've talked about your Xbox. You've talked about games. You've talked about you, Brandon. Tonight, you have entertained us.
Have
You have
I?
entertained us
Or have I?
thoroughly.
Or have I bored you?
No, it's not boring. People are in quarantine right now. They're looking for entertainment. And Brandon, you should feel proud of
Which
yourself
is true.
because you brought that entertainment. You brought joy to many people tonight with all of your stories. And the best part is we're not done because we're going to do it again.
Yes, yeah.
But
This was.
we have to save more information for the next show because we can't.
Well,
we can't
actually,
give it all away for free right now. We have to
actually, it's
save
been
some.
slow. Actually, it's been a slow news week because nobody's actually kind of working. Well, they are working, but working from home,
Right.
so there's not much tech news really. And I don't want to do the old tech news because why do the old ones?
It's old, but
Yeah,
we
it's
are
old.
definitely working. And
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Wow.
Well, unfortunately, whatever.
Yeah.
But Brandon, this has been a very exciting episode. I'm
Yes.
very happy to be doing it with you. It's very good to talk to you.
Yep.
And in the meantime, if anyone is interested, please go to the Facebook page. When you go to Facebook, type up Tech Pop Boom.
Yep.
And then you'll see the page. And Brandon does an excellent job of keeping you informed. A lot of really cool tech news, if that is your thing.
I put some
well, not- I was gonna
shows
say-
too on there too.
Yeah, I was going to say not just
Sometimes.
tech news, but entertainment, streaming, news shows. It's a good place for news and that kind of thing. And if you choose to do so, you can leave comments and that kind of a vibe too. You can tell Brandon how sexy and hot he is because he likes that kind of thing. Not me,
Well-
I'm married.
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, okay.
Don't let him, I'm telling you, he likes that kind of a talk. Ladies or guys, either one, you know.
Ladies.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
All right, Brandon. It has been a very entertaining night. Thank you for doing this with me. And I'm looking forward to doing it again, buddy.
Okay. Everyone, peace.
Peace.